Ooh, yes. All right, we are live on YouTube. How is everybody doing today? A little bit of a late start for me today for my walk. I'm going to share a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. Going to wait for people to get the notification and pop on in. Hope you're all having a great day. It appears a little overcast today here in Redwood City, California, where I live, in the San Francisco Bay Area on the peninsula. But it's still a little warm. It's about 76 degrees. It was about 80 degrees when I left my place, about 76 degrees here because it's the other side of where I live and I'm closer to the water here. I'm actually right alongside the water here, so it's a little bit cooler. And that's a beautiful, beautiful evening for a walk. And, you know, after what I had to do today, I had a lot to do today. I almost said, hey, you know, maybe I should take the day off from walking, but I said, nah, screw it. I love my walks. I'm going to find a way to make it happen. I'm going to fight through it. There have been many times where I've felt that way. Many times. Many times where I've felt that way. And I just fight through it and say, hey, you know what? I know how much better I'll feel after taking a walk. How you doing? You gotta love people. You gotta love people. People are so bored, lonely, and miserable that they see you walking around with a selfie stick and they have to honk at you to make themselves feel better, right? Out here on YouTube, we call those people trolls. They come and troll because they're miserable and they have nothing better to do, right? I mean, I'm not even trying to be critical. I'm not trying to be mean. Those are just the facts. If people occupied their time doing great things for themselves and other people, they wouldn't be doing this stupid shit, right? They wouldn't be, right? And here's the thing, folks. Today's show is going to be just an Ask Coach Eli any legitimate question. If you notice, I put Ask Coach Eli any legitimate question because if I put any question without putting the word legitimate in there, you know, more trolls will come in and ask stupid questions. I mean, they're going to do that anyway. California Ford Outdoors, how you doing, sister? How's your day going? Going quite well. How about yourself? How about yourself? It's a nice, cool day at the trail today. It was a little bit warmer at my place because I live across town, a few miles across town from this trail. And when I got out here, I'm like, wow, it's nice and breezy, 76 degrees. And right now on the trail, it feels like 70 because the wind is coming right off the water like air conditioning. But hopefully you're doing well, California Ford Outdoors. And thank you for your comment on my video earlier that I released on this channel. You know, involving what defines success. That was one of my pre-recorded videos I shot last week, and I'm releasing a new pre-recorded video every day this week here on my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. A Walking with Purpose pre-recorded video series in 4K at 60 frames per second. So check out that video from earlier today if you missed it. But yeah, today's show is going to be hanging out with Coach Eli and asking Coach Eli any legitimate questions. No trolling questions, no hateful questions, no drama questions, no stupid shit, legitimate questions. Those questions can be regarding dating, marriage. Those questions can be regarding business. Those questions can be politically or be political in nature, which is what I'm trying to say. And I will respond to you as respectfully as possible. I'll share my thoughts and opinions with grace. And if we disagree, we will respectfully disagree. You know, people aren't always, sorry. People aren't always going to agree on things. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, right? And you can respectfully disagree. But that's not what typically happens, because a lot of people in this world, they like to project their insecurities by way of their opinions, right? It is the people that are so miserable deep within themselves regarding many other aspects of their lives that when they encounter people that engage them, whether it's online or offline, and you know, they're talking about something with other people and the other person's or people's opinions are different, then these insecure, you know, lonely, miserable people, they'll project and they'll attack you if you don't agree with them. I personally have had enough of those people in my life to last a lifetime for the first 48 years. And if I can help it, I'd like to avoid them all like the plague. But I know that's impossible because like half the world's like that, right? Half the world's miserable, right? For the most part, right? So you encounter these types of people, you just have to learn how to deal with them, be as cordial, go away as quickly as possible. Hey folks, I'm back. Hey, California Forward Outdoors, can you just ban those people, not just time them out? I can't go back. I can't go back and moderate that one, and that's obviously a trolling account, California Forward Outdoors. If you time them out for 300 seconds, 5 minutes, they're just going to come back and keep trolling. Oh no, that's not a big deal. I just want you to get rid of them so they can't come back and talk again in 300 seconds, 5 minutes, you know what I mean? Not a big deal. It's all good. You let them off easy. Give me just a second here. Just waiting for this lady to pass on by. Hey, NCS Queen, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, NCS Queen, I agree with what you're saying. But here's the thing. There's really no need to keep mentioning that these people are pathetic. I just want to get to the point of where people are just coming here for the content and not bringing any attention to it. I just don't want to bring any attention to it. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. No need to apologize. No need to make a big deal out of it. It's, you know, I really don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. You know? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, my content is boring to those types of people. All I've been doing is talking about positive content, which to them is completely boring. So the fact that, you know, these people still follow me from time to time, who knows? Maybe they kind of do like my content. Who knows? It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. California, you did nothing wrong. I've been feeling like crap for a week. This is why I stepped off for a while to take care of myself. Well, that's good, California Forward Outdoors. You know, the week before, my lady and I took a week and a half off. Not only from YouTube, but other stuff as well. We had a lot of things to focus on. And we got a lot done. And there's a lot more greatness happening for both my lady and I. And, what a lot of people don't realize is that I have a life outside of YouTube, so does my lady. And most full-time YouTubers, whether they're successful on YouTube or not, have other ventures they're working on outside of YouTube. There are a lot of things that I've been working on and been doing for the last 5 years that I haven't put out publicly, and I probably never will. Some things are better left unsaid, and I'm a humble person, and there's just no need to mention every little thing. I have mentioned a lot. I mentioned a lot about my personal life and all that, but there are other business ventures that I've been working on over the last several years as well. I'm currently working on now, and those take time. And those businesses do not need being talked about on YouTube to be successful. There are many different ways to do business with people and market yourself with people. Give me just a second. How's it going? Good guy taking a walk on the trail. But yeah, you got to take a break sometimes and replenish the mind, body, and soul, right? And you know what? In California Ford Outdoors, I was talking about this yesterday and been talking about this all week. I used to worry about the numbers on YouTube, right? The amount of views, whether they are live viewers on a live stream or on the replay of a live stream or on a pre-recorded video. I used to worry about the numbers, and I don't anymore. I don't, because I'm beginning to realize that on YouTube, doing business on YouTube is a lot like real life business. It only takes 1 or 2 people to change your life, right? If you connect with 1 or 2 or 3 decent people, and they have other opportunities for you to work on outside of YouTube, there you go, right? Now, do I want to make my YouTube channel successful? Do I want to make my coaching business successful? Do I want to build it bigger and better? Sure. But I'm taking my time. And there are many reasons why it hasn't, grown by now. And I'm not going to get into those today, but I'm not worried about it because I always have my hands and feet in many other opportunities. I'm an entrepreneur. And, I'd love to share more examples of some things I've been working on, but there's no need to do so for many reasons. Number one, I don't need to, mention everything I do. Number two, some of these things that I'm working on, I don't want these people from my network that I've built over the last 15 to 20 years of my life. I don't want these people to get hammered by trolls and haters and, have these people deal with the same thing that many other people did, right? So I've learned to, not necessarily become a little more private, but, pick and choose what I put publicly or not. I think one of the things that was appealing for me to drama channels and cringe entertainment channels in the past was that I was just putting every single little thing out there for the most part in the past. I had like no filter, and I still pretty much have no filter for the most part. But I've learned that I've learned to get better at what I say, how I do things, who I do things with, right, etc. And that's why the relationship I'm in right now with my lady is an amazing one. That's surviving the storm, because when I first met her, her and I both talked about weathering each other's storms. When you meet someone, you start dating them and you like them, they like you, before you start saying the I love yous and you fall in love, right? You've got to talk about everything. You've got to put everything on the table, right? So that way you know what kind of storm you're going to hit or you're up against, right? Because that storm will hit. Whether you tell that person you just started dating or not. So if my lady wasn't transparent about everything she's going through or has been through in her life, and if I wasn't honest with her on the flip side, when the storm hit, which the storm did hit, it's still kind of hitting, but we've weathered through it. If we didn't open up, to each other regarding all this, when the storm hit, it could have ended our relationship. But because we were both proactive and we've both been through so much before, and we both learned that honesty is the best policy, that's what we did. And when the storm hit, we were able to weather it. And not only were we able to weather it, it made us stronger and bonded us closer together. I'm very happy. I'm very thrilled regarding how our relationship is going. Another good guy on the trail, listening to some motivational podcast. No headphones. He just had his smartphone just blaring. Some people do that. Some people don't like headphones. I love headphones, especially if I'm jogging or walking while I'm not on the air. I got my Bluetooth headset that I put on my ears. But hey, everyone's different, right? California Ford Outdoors says, 5 nights straight of working took a toll on me, is why I made a choice to step away. Yeah, I don't blame you. I've been feeling like crap for a week, is why I stepped off for a while to take care of myself. Oh, okay, Queen. Thanks. And Coach Eli, thank you. You're talking about NCS Queen. Yeah, no, you did nothing wrong. Oh, the person that got timed out must have assumed they got banned, so I'm sure their timeout is done. If they come back, we'll just ban them this time. Not a big deal, But that's, one thing my lady and I want to help each and every one. Okay, folks, sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry, folks, I am back. Like I was saying, that's, one thing my lady and I want to help each and every one of you learn to better do is weathering any storm that you encounter. And it's a figure of speech. Obviously, you're going to, encounter real storms like rain and, hurricanes, tornadoes, etc., right? But we're talking about figurative storms, like life storms with relationships, dating relationships, marriages, and even business partnerships or, workplace storms. We all encounter storms all the time. And if you can learn how to better weather these storms, you'll be able to, work through the issue quicker while not making matters worse. And then that will leave a space open for you to, find a better job, find a better boyfriend or girlfriend, find a better husband or wife, etc., right? I think we all spend too much time hanging on to things from our past instead of letting that shit go so we can move forward and get what we really want out of life, you know? I've encountered many people in my life that just can't let certain things go. I used to be that way myself. I used to hold on to resentment. I used to, hold on to ex-girlfriends that would break up with me after I was dating them for a few years, and it would hurt. And I couldn't let it go, right? As I got older, I learned to let shit go a lot faster because I realized, I only have so much time on this planet we call Earth, right? And same with you folks. We'll only have so much time, right? Why waste a minute of it dwelling over someone or a group of people that supposedly did us wrong in the past, instead of just letting it go and finding other people to hang around with that are going to be better suited for us, right? It's not easy to work through that, but I did. And a lot of people, they get into their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they're still not able to let shit go from the past, right? You would think by the time you hit your 30s or 40s, or you would think that by the time people hit their 30s or 40s, they would learn, right? But sometimes people never learn, right? And that's the sad part, right? And that's why many people end up living a lonely, miserable life because they just can't let shit go from the past, right? Look at the trail here. I don't know if they came back out here and started trimming this again. A lot of the grass has now spread out to the trail. I mean, it's still beautiful being out here, don't get me wrong, but since this, drought started this year, we didn't get nearly as much rain as normal. Everything's really dried up. And then yesterday, over there was a fire at a nearby park called Edgewood Park, a few miles from where I live. And I read more about it. There are a lot of homes in that area. They evacuated homes, I believe, within like a half-mile radius or so. Now, in this area here, we're not a high fire zone. We're not a high brush zone. There is brush in certain areas, like at Edgewood Park. It's the woods, right? It's a hiking trail that goes into the woods. Ooh, there are a bunch of those ducks. Hang on a second. There's a family. Those are birds. They're eating. They're starting to go away, but they're still hanging out on the trail. It's like, what are you gonna do? You're walking on the trail. That's for, there you guys go. You're walking on the trail that's for us humans, right? You ducks and birds and all that, you can fly, right? So you don't have to walk on the damn trail. Wind's beginning to pick up a little bit. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about, the San Francisco Bay Area. The weather can change just like that in a day. It's like 100 degrees yesterday, or close to it. In some areas over 100 degrees. And today, it's like, it was 80 around my place, and then the temperature started going down as I came out here closer to the bay where the water's at. And now there's some wind. And right now it's probably, I'd say, about 68 degrees or so, it feels like. So again, folks, today I'm just doing a simple stream. I'm just going to shoot the shit with you folks. We're going to talk about anything and everything. You can ask me any questions you like. Any legitimate questions, that is. And if we get some of those, I'll respond to you folks. In between, just kind of sharing some other thoughts about many other things. Whew, yeah, give me a second. Yeah, it got windy here all of a sudden. At least on my way back, the wind will be hitting my back. Later tonight, my lady and I may do a brief 45-minute to 1 hour stream on Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams. If that does happen, it's going to be probably around 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Because after I finish my walk, I'm going to go back home and have some food and talk with my lady and see if she wants to do that stream we were planning to do. But yeah, I got a late start on my day today because, well, not a late start, I was up early, but I was working on updating some software for my live streams and content I create in the studio. I've also been trying to tweak my audio with my, Shure SM7B, nice new microphone I got a few months ago. I'm trying to tweak it so it sounds as good as possible. I had some minor issues on the stream I did the other night. Actually, it was last night. My audio cut out, when I was coming back from the break. And that can happen anytime, even under perfect conditions. But I made some tweaks to hopefully minimize that, and I also made some tweaks to better my sound from the studio. I use a lot of noise reduction filters while I'm live in the studio, and it affects the sound sounding as sharp. But because this new microphone has great, noise rejection from the sides and the back of it, because it's a mic that picks up from the front and rejects noise from the back, I was able to reduce, my noise filters. And when you do that, your overall sound sounds sharper without having any of that noise in the background as well. Whenever you're applying noise reduction to audio, the more noise reduction you apply, the less bright the sound sounds. So you have to find a fine balance. And with my Blue Yeti that I used to have, I had to really crank up that noise reduction because that microphone was very, very hot and it picked up, it didn't reject background noise as well as my new Shure SM7B does. So I was working on that. I updated some other software I use, and it took time. You have to test it out. So basically killed my day, but at least it's all set for now. And if we go live tonight, you folks will be able to hear it. Okay. There's a kid that rode his little mini dirt bike on the trail right up to me, passed me, then stopped and turned around. And I don't know if the parents are nearby. But that's what kids do. They're not aware of their surroundings. I mean, when I was that age, that kid's got to be probably like 9 or 10. They're not aware of their surroundings. right? And everything fascinates him. So me holding a selfie stick up with a headset and a microphone is fascinating him. Let's see, what else? What else can I talk about? Since there aren't any questions, well, I can share my thoughts about, these proceedings happening regarding the insurrection on January 6, 2021. And just how, forget about, even Donald Trump breaking the law. I mean, we all know he broke the law. And the people that are going to come out and say he didn't break the law, I don't know what to tell you. You guys are just, diehard Trump supporters, right? But forget about the fact that Donald Trump has broken many laws. He just looks really, really stupid. The way that Congress has been presenting their case, which really is nothing new compared to what we already knew. It's just a highlight of the stupidity of what this guy did, right? And I'm not here to criticize any Trump supporters. You're all entitled to your opinions. You're all entitled to vote for whoever you want to vote for. And quite frankly, even though I'm a slight left liberal, I'm more down the middle. I'm all about what makes sense, right? So it doesn't matter about left versus right. If Joe Biden did the same shit that Donald Trump has done, I'd be saying the same things about Joe Biden, even though I voted for Joe Biden, right? And that's what people don't get, right? Like that's, I'm a reasonable person. That's being reasonable and fair, right? But they were talking about, all the things he was trying to do to overturn the election, right? And that phone call that was recorded, right? clearly, clearly stating what his intentions were. And I bet he thought that no one would have the nerve to record him, because typically, recording someone's against the law. Unless if you're on a conference call, if two parties know they're being recorded, that's all that matters. So, in that situation, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, that phone call that was recorded, that conference call that was recorded with Donald Trump, where, he was trying to, find votes, right? Get people to find votes for him, right? That was not illegally recorded, because there were a bunch of people on that call, and you only need two. In some states, and in other states, you only need the consent of one. But even in a two-party state, if you got 10 people on the call, and as long as two people know they're being recorded, that's all that matters, right? And here's the thing: you should always assume when you're on a group call that you're either going to be recorded, or you're basically, saying things to a bunch of witnesses that could testify against you in court, right? So I'm waiting for these kids to ride their little mini dirt bikes on the trail so I can go by. I think their mother is walking behind them. I think those kids should be walking instead of biking. And this is the thing when you're on a trail like this. These kids are in the middle of the trail. And I'm trying to avoid them because I'm recording video. And they're waiting for their mother back there. It is what it is. You just gotta deal with the challenges as they come, right? I wonder where my lady's at. Spoke with my lady earlier today. And she got a late start to her day. She'd been working on some things, so she slept in today, catching up on some rest. So I'm surprised that she's not here, but hey, no worries. No worries. About to get to the observation deck, halfway through. So yeah, you know, and here's the thing regarding the Trump situation, nothing's probably going to happen to him. So what's the point of investigating this? All right? Now, even if they don't prosecute him, I doubt they're going to prosecute him. But if they just take one thing away, it would make a lot of people very happy. And the Trump supporters very, very angry. And that's take away his right to run for any government office ever again. All right, I'm going to pull on over and that's actually a guy. I don't know if that's the kid's parents. Guy walking with a water bottle. But hopefully those kids aren't out here on their own. Not a good idea. You know, another thing I'll just throw out there right now, you know, as part of what I was talking about earlier regarding weathering any storm, right? You know, folks, we're going to have good days and bad days. And there are going to be days where, for example, you know, people that support my YouTube channel, there are days where they're all going to come. And then there are going to be days where none of them are going to come. And it's not easy, you know, to get a bunch of support for a certain amount of time and then all of a sudden it just falls off, right? It's not easy to deal with that, but you need to learn to become an expert at that. I've learned to weather that storm quite well, and I'm not going to lie, it can be disappointing at times, you know. Especially, you know, when you give so much to help others, and then when it comes time for them to support you in return, they're nowhere to be found, right? But that's okay. That's okay. I only mention that because I know many people go through that. Many people are givers. And they give with no expectation, and they get nothing in return or no support in return. Instead, they get shitted on, right? Just taking a breath of fresh air right now. What else do we have to talk about? There's really not a whole lot going on. Gas prices have kind of stabilized. They're still high, but they've kind of stabilized and gone down about 15 or 20 cents, but they're still in the low 6s to low 7s throughout. I'm back, folks. I'm back. My apologies, everyone. Sorry about that. I got cut off. So I was saying that, gas prices have kind of stabilized, but they're still very high here in California. In most areas, they're anywhere from low $6 per gallon to low $7 per gallon. And in some areas, they're $8 and $9 per gallon in the more rural areas. And I'm hearing here in California that, the gas tax is coming. There's been like an annual gas tax. I think it's like 3% or something like that. 3% of the tax, not 3% of the cost of gas. So it's a few pennies, 2 or 3 cents of an increase, but an increase is an increase. And I think I heard something like, Biden was saying, I think it was at a federal government level, that they want to relieve Americans a little bit by, ordering states to not charge a gas tax for 3 months. Here in California, that would lower gas prices by, what is our gas tax now? It's like 60, 70 cents a gallon. It's nearing $1. It's not quite $1, I believe, but I think it's like 60 or 70 cents per gallon. So that would definitely help out a lot. Perfect topic of the day, going on $8 a gallon in California. Well, in some areas. I know down in Southern California there were some areas that are more expensive than here in Northern California. Most areas around where I live, I saw gas even a little under $6 a gallon, high fives. I get super unleaded, and the cheapest I found super unleaded was at a Costco near San Francisco for $6.15 a gallon. And I think it was like $5.85 for a regular unleaded. And quite frankly, that's not a bad price during the times where the national average is $5 a gallon, now over $5 a gallon. And California has the highest gas usually all year round because we have that special blend, especially during the summer, to, have more emission control because we have so many people driving here, especially where you live, California Forward Outdoors. There's a lot of smog down there. There's some smog here too, but it's not as bad as where you're at. But the whole entire state, during the summertime, we have that special summer blend, which costs more to produce. That's what happens, and we pay for it year round, even when we don't use it. Because if we only paid for it during summer, then gas prices would go sky high in the summer and they'd be real cheap in the winter. It just balances itself out throughout the year. California has the highest everything, even the cost of food. Yep, smog here is bad. Yep. Oh, smog in LA is the worst. Now those kids are coming back. I'm gonna wait for them to pass. Naughty Audie, you have a question. If your question is not trolling, doesn't involve drama, doesn't involve hate or attacking, I'd be happy to answer it. What's your question if you're not trolling? Air did clean up during the lockdown. Now not too many people are driving. Yeah. Well, that's not the case here. We still have lots of traffic on the 101. It's back to normal. I gotta walk around because these kids have their bikes parked right in the middle of the trail. And I think they're waiting for their dad back there. That's probably their dad. So I'm going trailblazing. Yeah, they've trimmed the dry brush here. They need to trim this area right here. Oh yeah, you folks have traffic on all freeways down in Southern California. California Ford Outdoors. The 5, the 405, the 210, the 110, the 710. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If I had kids, young kids, instead of them biking this trail, they'd be walking this trail with me. Get a much better exercise benefit. You know, biking burns like 1/3 to 1/4 the calories of walking, and you don't use as many muscles. Yeah, you're working your feet and your thighs and all that, but that's about it. Just a beautiful night out here. California Ford Outdoors says kids these days go to an indoor paid playground or gym. Yeah, it's air conditioned and padded and all that, right? I mean, we had all that when I was growing up too, but what I really enjoyed the most was getting out in nature. There's nothing that I enjoy more than being out in nature. And while this technically, I mean, I guess you can't consider it nature, it's the wetlands. It's right by the bay. I mean, this is the closest thing to nature that I can get to each and every day. That's why I love walking this trail or other parts of the San Francisco Bay Trail. What's going on, Mad Shangy Army 2? Doing all right. How about yourself, man? Just been chilling and working on some things behind the scenes and just creating my content, man. How about yourself? What's been going on with you? I've been doing good. You see my streams about Rogue Internet, man? I did catch the ones on Rogue, but those are the only ones that I've watched because I haven't been interested in any other drama. You're a good content creator, Shangy. You really are. You're talented. And, you know, I will say this briefly here, that I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Man, I think you have a big head and heart, no matter what anyone says. You know, and I know I got your emails. It's just I had so much going on. And quite frankly, dude, I just, you know, I don't want to participate in any drama anymore. And I think you know that by now, dude. It's like, I just avoid drama like the plague. I don't have time for it, man. My lady and I have been working on some other things. My lady's about to get a job that is going to be her dream job. I mean, she doesn't have it yet, but there's some really good things happening behind the scenes and off of YouTube that, you know, we're not going to be going public on, at least not yet. But yeah, man, I'm just doing my thing. I just don't have the energy anymore for cringy, you know, back and forth fighting type of content. It's like, oh, whose dick is bigger than the other person's, right? I'm just, it's not a dick measuring contest, you know what I mean? I'm tired of, being around people like that or content like that, man. Like, sure, it was funny when I was younger and it was funny initially, man, but that shit's not funny anymore, man. It's not. She's going to get her dream job, no doubt. Of course she is. Hello, NC's Queen. Hello, California Ford Outdoors. Yeah, Shangy, I'll talk about the Rogue Internet Man situation because, that's a totally different content creator. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. And that's how he grew his channel. He did those things to grow his channel. These birds are back on the trail. All right. They're like right there. I had to keep my camera down because there were some people coming. I didn't want to put the front camera in their face. But I'm not surprised that, Rogue did those things, and I'm not questioning it. Hey, Sifu Smo, Dion, how's it going, bro? So, Dion, I'm glad you're here. Stick around. I want to ask you something. While you're around. But I'm addressing Shangy for a second here, the Mad Shangy 2. Mad Shangy Army 2. Yeah, I'm not surprised that Rogue did what he did. And he had to do that because that's what his audience was based off of. And that's how he grew his channel. And a lot of people grow their channels doing stupid shit, and they put their channels at risk. Sifu or Smo, welcome. How you doing? This is California Ford Outdoors. Sifu Smo says, hey, CFO. Welcome one, welcome all. Please don't forget to smash that like button while you're here, folks. I'd appreciate that. And only thing I can say, Shang, is that you remember about almost a year and a half ago, I think it's been almost a year and a half now, when I went on his show, and I knew what I was up against, and I stood tall for 2 hours, having him and 8 other people ambush me, and all I kept saying was, that's your opinion. And then the guy gets triggered instead of triggering me and kicks me off his show. And the funny thing, other creators were saying that Rogue owns, Eli gets owned, Coach Eli gets owned by Rogue. Okay. That's how stupid it was, dude. Like, all this shit's just stupid, man. It's just dumb. Rogue's brother, really? How'd you find out about that, Shangy? That's pretty sickening, man. It's pretty sad. Hurt an innocent kid. Well, that's what unhappy, mentally and emotionally unstable men behave. They lose their shit. They lose their emotional self-control. Mentioning Army 2. He was doxxed on Kiwi Farms. He even confirmed the dox himself and confirmed that the guy who basically did that to the little boy is his brother. I'm sorry, I got to speak in a little YouTube code. You know why. But I get what you're saying, man. Whoa. It's a squirrel. He wanted to come back my way, but he's waiting for me to leave. Okay, sorry, I had to check something out for a second. How you doing, Coach? I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing good. Both my lady and I are doing great. My lady's getting prepared for a major job interview coming up next week. Her and I are going to be going out of town this weekend. And we're just going to tune everything out and have a phenomenal time. I also got paid from Google today, Google/YouTube, on this monetized channel. So I got a couple $100 from them. Not a whole lot, but, a couple $100 a month or so. Just extra spare money, And it'll get better. My lady and I, Dion, we're more than likely going to do a brief show tonight on Coach Eli 2 Uncensored live streams if you are around. Matt Shangy Army 2 says people have confirmed that he's told this story about feeding a dog a hamburger with glass in it and watching it perish. That's pretty sad, dude. What is wrong with this guy? Is he just an insecure dude? Like, what is wrong with him, man? And was this his main source of income, what he was doing on YouTube? Or was he working a day job? I just don't understand some of these people. Like, that's why I've always said, Shangy, to the people that run drama channels and are making really good money for a year or 2 or 3 years, it all comes to an end. It has an expiration date. And you're seeing lots and lots and lots of channels either get demonetized from the YouTube partner program or get their channels shut down, or they're getting caught doing something malice, so malice that they have to shut their own channels down to protect themselves, right? And here I am, been running this channel, it'll be 4 years in December, been monetized for more than half that time. And here I am, I may not have the most active viewers or anything, but I'm still here. I'm doing my thing, I'm still monetized, no problems. I'm about to get my second channel monetized. Coach Eli 2, within the next few weeks. Got the subs, just need the watch time. We're nearing 3,000 hours of watch time on Coach Eli 2. And a lot of that came over the last month. We would have probably been even closer now, but we took the last week and a half off. But Dion, let me ask you something if you're still around. He worked for his dad's auto shop. Okay. So part of the family business? All right. Why not? As long as he's doing good work and he's qualified, right? So Dion, let me ask you something. And it's a fair question, dude. No disrespect. You know, my lady thinks very highly of you. My lady thinks my lady thinks very highly of you. And I do too, bro. But you've said over the last month or several months, or at least the last 2 to 3 or 4 weeks, that you're done with drama. You want no more drama. You're tired of it, right? But then you put out a video a couple days ago feeding in the drama. I mean, no big deal, bro. It's your choice. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm not going to hammer you for it. I'm not getting mad. I'm just saying, you know, one of the best qualities a man can have is being congruent with his words. His actions match his words, which is what I'm trying to say, right? Now, here's the thing, Dion. I'm not perfect myself. I made lots of mistakes, more so in my younger days when I was your age or younger, right? So I get it, bro. I'm not going to knock you for something I've done myself, but I learned to pull through it. And quite frankly, dude, you know, if you're going to feed into drama again because it may get you a few extra views, or maybe there's trouble in paradise and you're trying to fill in some time, bro, I mean, is it really worth it, bro? Is it going to really fix the situation or make all situations worse? Not just your YouTube situation, but your real life situation. When you feed into drama, you not only ruin your YouTube situation, your YouTube channel, you ruin your real life because it affects your real life, you know, family, friends, and even your dating partner. I know about that, you know, firsthand, bro. With my ex Dana, you've seen those videos. Sure, you've seen plenty of them. There are some people coming on the trail. I'm gonna just. We're at 65 minutes, about an hour and 30. Sorry, about an hour and 5 minutes. Sorry about that. Seems like some more people come to this trail in the evening. I started just before 5 o'clock. So right now It's probably shortly after 6, like closer to 6:15 Pacific, 9:15 Eastern. In the PM, that is. For those of you watching on the replay. And Dion, that's okay, dude. We all make mistakes. We all have setbacks. We all have moments, right? But I think, again, for you, bro, I think you need to decide what makes you happy in all aspects of your life. And if there are aspects of your life that you're not happy about, you got to address that no matter how hard it is and rectify that, or it's just going to drive you nuts. It's a good thing I'm not single. I'll just put it to you that way. I love my woman, but God, man, I'm a talker. I'd be talking to all these women. Just friendly. I wouldn't be banging them all. It's like, I love talking with people. And I like talking with women more because women actually like to have real conversations. Women are not afraid to express their emotions, right? Because they're women. They're emotional, right? The guys don't want to open about shit, right? So guys bottle shit up and then they blow up like a volcano, right? And that's what causes them to do stupid shit like what Rogue's brother did, Shangy, and what many other men have done, right? Men blow up because they keep things in because they think it's less manly to express how they feel, right? And that's the furthest thing from the truth. You don't want to be, overly emotional, but if you're a man that displays zero emotion, then you're dead, right? Wow, almost back towards the end already. This is a quick walk today. Number one, it's cooler. Number two, I didn't get to stop at the observation deck because those kids were there. I have a feeling that my lady took another nap. She's had a lot to take care of lately to prepare for this job opportunity. And she's had some other things to take care of. It's just been one thing after the other. I've been helping her as much as possible. And, when she was working in retail management for 5 years, and 2.5 of those years was as an assistant store manager, one of the most difficult jobs to do in retail. I know how much it burnt her out. It burned me out when I used to do it back in those days. It took me months to recover once I left retail. So I get it. And on top of that, she's got a lot of other things going on with her family. I'm not going to mention, but, there was a serious, can't even say it, sorry, I'll just say it anyway. There was a serious, health situation that happened with one of her family members over the last few days. And so, she's been dealing with that, and I've been helping her with that, or helping her through that as best as possible. Everyone is fine. Nobody perished or anything like that, but it was a pretty serious situation. And so, it's been just one thing after the other. So I'm assuming my lady's probably taking a nap again right now. Because if not, she would be here. Either that, or she's talking to her mother. And they talk for hours. It's one or the other. Nap or talking with her mother. And when those women talk, they talk for hours. forget about it. You know, I can go take a bath for 2 hours and get out and they'll still be talking. Talk about the same thing. Now, I love women, don't get me wrong, but women can sit on the phone for 2 to 3 hours and repeat the same shit 100 times, and then they're happy, right? That to me is like the definition of insanity. Doing or saying the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. You know? That's why, you know, when I talk with my lady, right, or women, when I talk with women in the past, after a while, you just got to step in because then they just keep repeating the same thing, right? A lot of times women will repeat the same thing until they get the answer that they want. I've always told men, never, you know, give your lady the answer she wants. Tell her how you feel. If you happen to agree with her, that's great. But if you don't agree with her, don't pretend to agree with her just to appease her, because it's just going to make matters worse, right? And she won't respect that. She may be unhappy that you disagree with her on anything, right? But at least she'll respect you, that you have the balls to stand up for yourself, right? That's the problem nowadays. Men don't have balls to stand up for themselves anymore. Anyway, folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in about 15 minutes or less. Getting towards the end of the trail, getting closer. My apologies for jumbling my words. I'm not sleepy tired. I'm just physically exhausted or mentally exhausted because I just had a lot of work to do on my computer today to upgrade some of the software and hardware I use for my live streams in the studio and my pre-recorded videos from the studio. And it just takes time because everything has to be perfect. When you're dealing with digital audio and digital video, and you want to have really good quality and you want to make sure everything runs smooth and doesn't crash, you got to do a lot of testing and you got to tweak things just right. Easier said than done. But I'm glad I came out here today. I wasn't, like I said at the beginning of the show, I wasn't even going to come out. I was just going to not walk today. But I'm like, wait, I didn't walk that much last week. I got to make up for the exercise I missed. Even though I did do walking in other ways, going places with my lady and stuff, but it's not the same thing, you know. And up ahead, we've got a guy and his kids in a baby stroller. I'm just gonna keep it quiet while I pass by them. Give me a second, folks. All right. So Dion, I never heard back from you. Let me reset the chat here in case it got stuck. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. I don't understand, Dion, why you would time that sock account out and not ban them. I just banned them. I mean, I really don't even want my mods using the timeout feature. Just ban people. If people are deserving of getting timed out on this channel, then they deserve to be banned. Just ban them. I just banned that other one that you timed out, Dion. What's the topic of tonight's show? My girl wants to know. I don't know, bro. My woman and I are going to talk after this show before we go live, and if I don't hear from her, she may have taken another nap. Then I may just go live by myself for a little bit. And just do something real brief. But I'm not quite sure yet, man. But I'm hearing again that, I'm hearing again that, you're having some issues. Keep going back and forth, dude. What's it gonna be, man? My lady keeps telling me she's been talking with you and saying that you're saying that things aren't going well. But now you're saying, my lady wants to know what the topic is of your show tonight. I mean, Dion, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I love you like a brother, dude, but you change your mind more than a woman, bro. No disrespect. I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm not trying to call you a woman. I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm really not. I'm just saying, dude, I've never seen any dude change their mind as much as you. I make fun of that dude from time to time. That is as far as drama will go. Yeah, but you mentioned the other guy's name too that I won't mention, bro. You mentioned the other dude too, bro. It wasn't just him. If it was just him, I wouldn't even have brought it up. But you mentioned the other dude too. It's all good, dude. It's not a big deal. Unless I'm blind and deaf, bro. You mentioned more than just him. But it's all good, bro. It's not a big deal. You got to live your life the way you want to live it. You want to feed into drama every now and then, that's up to you. It's not a big deal to me. I want nothing to do with it. I've had enough of it, bro. I've had enough drama, fun, if you want to call it fun, So now, just my luck. The kids go to the other side with their father on their bikes. I'm about to go exit the trail, and they skid out right in front of the freaking trail, right when I'm about to walk out. It's a young father, probably like in his early to mid 30s, probably some tech executive or something, or a techie dude. They probably live across the street. More and more people are entering the trail right now. Folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes here. We will win. That's what her shirt says. Sifu Smo says, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not disrespecting me. I'm not trying to disrespect you, dude. I'm just being honest with you, bro. You've changed your mind many times. One day you say things are good. The next day you say things are not so good. And you change your mind every day about it, bro. And I understand it's tough, dude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. I'm trying to help you, dude, and say, look, the more you change your mind and go back and forth, the more you're going to annoy and confuse your lady, because your lady's looking up to you for your masculine strength and your certainty. Your woman is uncertain because that's how women are. Women are uncertain, bro. Women are emotional and they're uncertain even when they're not pregnant. When they're pregnant, they're more uncertain. They want to make sure that you're going to be there for her, for them and the baby, right? And so think about it. When you're going back and forth day by day or day after day, that's what's making the situation worse. You got to decide and figure out what you want to do and stick to it and be consistent. I know it's not easy, bro. It's easier said than done. And don't let anyone trigger you, bro. Like, I'm not trying to trigger you. You know I love you like a brother, dude. Seriously, I'm not mad or anything, right? And maybe I shouldn't have said what I said. But you want to get on the good side of your woman and make things work, you got to just be really consistent with what you say and do. One day it could be good, another day it could be bad. Well, dude, I just did the same damn thing in different words. Come on, man. That's what I've been trying to tell you, dude. That's why there's trouble in paradise, because you can't make up your mind. You can't make up your mind, dude. And you're a man, dude. You are a man. And masculine energy is certainty, making decisions, sticking to them. Right? You know what my lady respects about me the most? Humbly speaking, dude, and everyone else. My lady respects the fact that I am certain about who I am and what I love doing, and I stick to my guns. And when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And if I don't like something she says or anyone else says, I just ignore it or move past it. I don't appease people. I'm just raw and real and straight up. And it's because I'm certain about who I am and what I like and what I don't like, and I'm consistent with who I am and what I like and what I don't like. Dude, I've been in your shoes before, Dion. I've never gotten anyone pregnant, but I've had many moments of uncertainty in my teens and 20s when it comes to women. And let me tell you, bro, those relationships didn't work. Women started getting annoyed at me because I was being a really nice guy. But it's one thing to be a nice guy, and it's another thing to be uncertain about things when it comes to a woman and a relationship. It's basically you have one of two choices. You're either in or you're out. You're all in or you're all out. There's no in between. All right, folks. I'm about to wrap things up here. Leaving 10 in the box. 5 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. 84 minutes, an hour and 24 minutes. It's probably somewhere around 9:30 or shortly after 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to head home, see if my lady is awake. If she is, we'll end up doing a show in a couple hours on Coach Eli 2 for a little bit. If not, if she's not awake, I'll probably do one on my own. Keep it locked here to Coach Eli, Elias Melas, and Coach Eli 2 Uncensored Live Streams. Check out my community tabs for any information I may post. And if you don't see me do a live tonight on Coach Eli 2, I'll be back tomorrow with more information. Have yourselves a great night. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.